Now, let's practice again. The objective of this exercise is to practice variable declarations and learn how to take inputs from a user. We will write a program that takes 4 different kinds of input and then prints them to the screen.
We begin by including a header in the file as indicated. Then, as with every program in C, include studio.h and declare main. Inside of the braces, we declare all of the variables we are planning on using. Note how we are using a variable of type int called age, a variable of type float named money and 2 variables of type char, one with a pre-specified size of 5 characters. Next, in the input section, we use printf to print a message to the screen, followed by a function new to you, scanf. Scanf is a function used to take input from the user. The first argument is a format specifier. Since our first input will be for an int, we use a %i. The ampersand after the comma is indicating to the computer where to store the value. In other words, it is indicating where the input is going to be stored. The last thing we use is the getChar function. We use it because the next input we ask of the user will be the single character. Consider that, once we input the int and hit enter, a new line symbol will be automatically assigned to the character. Thus, we need a way to avoid propagating the new line character to the next input. This is a very good example of getChar's use. Note that this is required only when the following input is of type char. Next, we proceed to ask the user for a string, and then a float. In the string input, or character array input, pay close attention to the fact that the ampersand symbol is not included in the scanf function. The reason for this is because this is an array, and in C, arrays have some special properties. We will discuss the details in later modules. We finally proceed to output the inputs as given using the function printf. At this moment, pause the video and write the program in Pico. Save it with an appropriate name, compile, and run.
After running this, you should see the output in the following format. First, we need to compile our written program. In this example, we named the file third.c and similarly, our executable will be third. Then, we input 5 as an integer, capitalized G as a character, the name Hugo as a sequence of characters, or a string, and 2.59 as a floating point number. Then the output looks like the following. Before moving on, notice that in our program, the variable where a string was to be inputted, that is, name, had a size of 5 spaces or elements while the name Hugo has 4 letters. A programmer has to always remember that once we input the name, we hit enter and therefore a new line character is stored in the array. Thus, the 5th element in the array is now a new line character.
For the last exercise, type the following piece of code, compile, and run. Once you have done this, what is the meaning of the statement define?
The answer is, to define a particular constant. In this case, the value of pi.
In this module, you should have learned how to 1. Compile a C program using appropriate flags, for example GCC, WAL, WError, LM. 2. Perform a variable type declaration in C. 3. Manipulate variable type declarations as needed. 4. Implement the use of expressions to assign values to variables.
5. Understand how everything is a function in C. 6. Recall keywords in C. 7. Understand and implement the define and include statements. 8. Execute a simple program with output, for example using printf and scanf.